a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
And thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the show. We are blessed and highly favored here in the Consumer Quarterback Show studio, powered by the Platinum MVP team. My wife Lindsay and I own a top 100 ranked team, and we help sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure on the sale of your real estate properties. We're going to touch on a couple of hot listings here in a minute. We got Jason Mears back in studio with us, Florida Best Quote Insurance. We're going to talk about some of the records set. Well, the record is the earliest hurricane, Category 5 hurricane, was Beryl. So we're going to talk about hurricanes and preparedness, and also interesting facts around the property casualty and insurance space that you want to be aware of. Also, we have Pinellas County Property Appraiser Mike Twitty going to be joining us as well in studio. Mike Twitty's been on the program before. You know him, longtime friend of the show. And also, I'm teaching the When Was Sellers class. I want to let you know, I know a lot of real estate agents, mortgage, title folks out there listening to our show. I'm teaching the When Was Sellers class on Wednesday, the 31st, July 31st, so just next week. Real excited about that. It's going to be a hybrid, so you can attend in person or at the actual Pro on Ulmerton Road. So, yeah, I'm teaching that class, and wanted to just kind of get the message out there. Great opportunity for you. If you're thinking about getting into real estate, we'd love to talk to you. And if you're in real estate and you want to learn how to get more listings, we're going to be talking about. That's the topic of conversation at the Wednesday the 31st over at Pinellas Realtor Organization. All right, shout out to our friends at Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. I love going down to their Gandy location. I get the vitamin infusion drip, something like the Mears cocktail, delivered into my bloodstream. And what it is, it's vitamins, B, C's, all the good stuff going into your body. And it's going to help boost your immunity and help you defend from these different colds and other attacks on our immune system. ReplenishIVSolutions.com, ReplenishIVSolutions.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, got a hot listing here at 221 Howard Drive. This one is in Bel Air Beach, one of the hottest zip codes in the entire state, one of the wealthiest zip codes in the state of Florida as well. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida, 33786. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot single family home, exclusive Bel Air Beach location. You have a gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of water frontage on deep water. So you have that deep water access, bring your boat and jet skis. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area, 1 block to the beach as well. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Another beautiful property. Sticking with Pinellas County beaches, this one's on Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores, right on the Gulf of Mexico. You are just a short 100-step walk from the Sugar Sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,000 square feet, beachfront condo, 2-car parking area at 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores. $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Great opportunity to own real estate. You have 3 balconies providing a lovely view right here in Tampa Bay. See all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's right. Shout out to our troops out there, and let's welcome in Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. Welcome back, sir.
Mr. Brandon, good to be here, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks Always for coming in. Yes, sir. Always good catching up. Also, interesting story we can talk about, too, is top 5 foreign countries that are participating in the United States real estate, buying real estate, and also the top 5 destinations. Where are those foreign buyers investing at? Which states that is? So, interesting topic coming up here. Let's start off with the hurricane preparedness, because kind of Beryl a couple weeks ago caught us a little bit off guard, I would say. I mean, it's the earliest Cat 5 hurricane ever recorded.
Yeah, and as far as an Atlantic hurricane, it's the earliest 5 rating that we've had. Yeah, thank you. Cat 5 rating that we've had, and they've been recording for over 100 years, so it's been a long time. It was there is some people just need to be diligent. We haven't seen anything pop up in the last couple of weeks, but again, we don't even hit the peak of hurricane season until September 10th, so we're a long way from the peak of the season. So you just got to be prepared. And so I did want to share one funny thing. You know, we've got some different we're going to talk a little bit about the high destination places and where are people moving, especially coming into Florida. And I know they're coming from all over the place. But if you're someone who hasn't been to, you just recently moved to Florida, or you haven't been through a big hurricane season here, you look at things a little bit different than those of us that have lived here. You've lived here most of your life. I've lived here 21 years. But, people look at alligators differently when they first move here. They freak out about the alligators, like, oh, my gosh. And those of us that have lived here, we just point, there's an alligator. But I read something the other day. It's the comparison between how the rest of the world looks at hurricane season and how Floridians look at hurricane season.
Okay.
So the rest of the world, they watch the Weather Channel. They prepare an evacuation kit. They buy batteries. They buy water. They watch the Weather Channel some more. They buy a generator. They board up their windows. That's how normal people that have moved in. A lot of you listening, this is how you're going to do this hurricane season. Okay. Floridians, here's how most Floridians do this. First of all, they buy as much alcohol as possible. They will plan a hurricane party. They will pray, and my kids are in this category, that it hits either on a school or a work day.
Oh, there you go.
Right? Buy some more alcohol. Make jokes about the hurricane's name. Make a hurricane-themed playlist, including Rock You Like a Hurricane. Remember that from the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
And then freak out when Jim Cantori shows up in your town.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's how Florida looks at hurricanes. So just some tips out there for those of you that are moving in from the area. You'll know you're really settled in when you start looking at hurricanes that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's slow motion. It seems like the whole 2 or 3 days leading up to it is like slow motion. Right?
Yeah, and there are things that you're gonna see a lot of tips and things that you need to do this, get an evacuation kit, know your evacuation zone, things like that. But I think there's some kind of key things that a lot of people just don't think about. I'll give you a few real quick. If you have a pet, a lot of people don't think about this. If you're in an evacuation zone and you've got to get to a shelter, most of the shelters out there don't take pets. So you need to look ahead of time to see what shelters in your area will take your pet so that you know where you're going to go. You do not want to be showing up at a shelter and think, everything's good, and they're turning you away because of your 2 dogs or something like that. So
just turn you away like Joel Osteen's church.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't say that out loud, did you?
Oh, man.
And then other little things like, one thing I try to practice, people always freak out about gas. During hurricane season, just keep your gas tank half full all the time. When it gets to half, fill it up again. You're never under a half tank. So if you've got to get somewhere a couple of hours away, you can get there. You don't have to worry about stopping for gas. And then also filling up your bathtubs. There is always a chance that you're going to need it for hygiene, toilets, things like that.
Yeah.
So just fill up your bathtub with water before the hurricane hits. And then the other one, of course, is just, and I've had to deal with this before, just make sure your devices are charged up early.
Yep.
Keep them charged as much as possible. Have extra chargers that are charged. I know some people that swear on these solar-powered chargers that you can leave out during the day, that sort of thing. But again, you always have your car battery. You can always just go charge it out in your vehicle as well. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, that's cool. And if you're going to do the hurricane party, make sure all your speakers are charged. That way you at least have music,
right? All those wireless speakers. Yeah. Make sure that you can connect them.
And get a sat phone, too. Even if it's an EMP attack or, this election year, we've already seen a couple curveballs. Could be an EMP attack, could be other things. And we talk about having that satellite phone. You can go to sat123.com. and just use the /REQB, like real estate quarterback, and talk to the folks down there at Satellite Phone Store. They're right here just south of us in Sarasota, and they're great people over there. Sat123.com /REQB. Satellite phones would be in great demand. I think if more and more people actually thought about it and considered it, because they don't charge you for the phone. It's just a monthly fee. They give you the phone, and then you have a monthly fee. So pretty cool setup there at sat123.com /REQB, like real estate quarterback. Alex, I forgot to mention our party. We were going to mention this every show leading up to our Third Thursday event. So this Third Thursday, we're having our next gratitude party over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company, which is over there by the Oldsmar Flea Market. So it's kind of in between Hillsborough and Pinellas. So sometimes our Pinellas folks say, oh, I don't want to go all the way to Hillsborough. And our Hillsborough folks say, I don't want to go all the way to Pinellas. This one's right on the line there, kind of like the Bo and Luke Duke used to run the General Lee. They'd run away from the cops. They'd go to the county line. Remember that? It's a good location.
It's legit right in the middle. Like, that's where it separates and becomes like Oldsmar and Pinellas County and stuff. So, I mean, no excuses, guys.
Yeah,
you
great
can't go,
location.
oh, well, I don't want to go into Hillsborough County. Oh, I don't want to go in Pinellas. Well, we're not. We're going right on the line. So we'll meet you in the middle.
That's right.
That's close to me, so that's good.
Yeah, and this is opened up for everybody. This, we invite our audience, we invite our listeners, our viewers, our followers on social, and it's Tampa Bay Brewing Company. You're going to get a private tour as well. So if you've never seen a tour, this is the #1 private brewery in the independent brewery in the state of Florida, owned by David Doble, who you've just heard on our show. You can see his video on our YouTube channel and hear a little bit about how that business started and grown. But join us on Thursday, August 15th, 6 o'clock, over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We're going to have appetizers, drinks. Your first drink is provided, and also a private tour. So come on out. Great networking opportunity there. Meet our expert contributors with the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, Jason Mears here in studio with us, and we're talking about insurance and what we need to look at. And are you adequately covered? I think that's another key question.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just to make some assumptions about their home insurance policy, that it's good, it's covered. I think there's a couple things really to be aware of. If you haven't had the replacement cost of your home calculated in the last year or two, you need to do that. Not all of the home insurance companies out there are recalculating those every year, and we've seen those numbers climb over the last 5 years or so. So if your house was, if it was going to cost $250,000 to replace it 5 years ago, it very likely could be $350,000, $400,000 to replace it today. And so you want to make sure that you've got that complete coverage. Also, another misconception a lot of times is involving personal property. A lot of people think, I've got my art collection, I've got my expensive jewelry, I've got my gun collection. Those are just going to be covered under the personal property section of my policy, and that is not true. Most insurance companies don't even look at it as personal property. You have to cover those separately. Now, on your home insurance, a lot of companies will allow you to cover those, but you have to a lot of times get an appraisal for them, especially jewelry. So let's say you've got a $10,000, your wife or spouse or partner has a $10,000 engagement ring. It's only probably going to be covered for maybe $1,500 unless you get it covered separately, either on the policy or a company like a jewelersmutual.com. I highly recommend them as a company where you can just insure jewelry separate from your home insurance.
Okay.
A lot of times it's less expensive to do it that way. So if you've got a comic book collection, or if you got a friend of mine's got a Hot Wheels collection that's worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, he's actually an insurance agent that I know. But yeah, look into those. There are companies that will insure those. But individual items, most of the time, are going to max out at $1,000 to $2,000 on home insurance policies, and you're going to want coverage for some of those items separately.
Wow, smart idea there. Jason Mears on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He represents Florida Best Quote Insurance, our longtime friend of the show, insurance expert, contributor, all things insurance related, property casualty. You have residential, commercial policies as well. He can talk with you about all those different areas. He does a lot in education too, Jason. I love the fact that you go across the state. You talk to not only Keller Williams offices across the state, but other offices or boards as well. And you're educating. What are some of the biggest questions that you get when you're on the road educating and teaching?
Well, right now there's a lot of questions on the real estate side about condo reform and all the legislation that's come down from that, and how it's unfortunately it's impacting our older community a lot, and not just them, but you've got
fixed budgets, because they're on a fixed budget,
and if you've got a lot of people don't know, if you've got a condo building that's 30 years of age and 3 stories or higher, those milestone reports are being required. And, if they find a ton of structural issues, that price tag can be pretty high. I know there's a building down in the St. Pete area. They found $30-something million of damage of things that needed to be repaired. And most of that cost is all going to go to those owners. What are they going to do? Most of them are going to sell and get out, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have investors come in and just buy up all this property. So we're still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with legislation. I mean, the state can't afford to lose or see a great impact to the 55 and older community. So what are they going to do? Because this is really going to hit a lot of those people that are on fixed incomes. And so that's the biggest concern. That's one of the main questions I get a lot of times when I go in and teach. Hey, teach a class on this. And so I've been doing a lot of that recently.
Yeah, that's interesting. We're teaching one, I say we, my wife Lindsay mainly, and her team teaching about pre-construction. Pre-construction is something that's in demand right now because a lot of times people are looking at resales and are like, I don't like this one because it's older, it has this floor plan or whatever it might be from a 10, 12-year-old property. And a lot of people are kind of turning to new construction as an opportunity. And we have the 90 units up in Gainesville on Archer Place, Archer Road up there, just a mile from the University of Florida, pre-construction luxury condos for sale up in Gainesville. So great opportunity to get into the new construction space as well. So, and I think as an agent, you might as well learn it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know the new construction is a whole lot simpler on the insurance side too. I mean, there is, you don't have to worry about those inspections and something coming out bad. I think the main thing we see on a lot of those, the new construction, is you want to have somebody, an inspection company that you can hire. I see this happen a lot. They come in before, before the contract is signed and all that, and everything's signed. Have them go through that thing and make sure everything is correct, because sadly, there are companies known for not, just because it's new doesn't mean it's perfect. Right.
They'll take shortcuts where they can in many cases.
Yep. And you want to check all that ahead of time.
All right, Jason Mears here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming back here in just a minute, we're going to talk about the top 5 foreign countries participating in the U.S., investing in the U.S. Where are they coming from? And where are they going? What are the top 5 destinations? We're going to let you know, according to the National Association of Realtors chief economist, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, local real estate economist here in Tampa Bay, helping you, advising to buy, sell, or invest. We can help you win in your negotiations. Certified negotiation expert, 3-time published author, teaching classes at the Realtor Boards as well here in Tampa Bay. And coming up, top 5 countries participating in the United States as far as buying land. Top 5 destinations. Where are they going? And where are they coming from? Where are they going? So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Before we do, we always feature a couple of hot listings here. 3615 Sea Robin is a St. Petersburg property. This is Pinellas County, 3615 Sea Robin. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 1,500 square feet, remodeled single-family home. You have a great opportunity to own real estate 10 minutes from downtown St. Pete, less than 15 minutes from the world-famous beaches in Sea Robin Drive, southeast St. Petersburg. A great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. Community amenities, park with a playground, 2 fenced-in dog parks along the water, soccer field. So lots of amenities there. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property on Sea Robin Drive. 1950, 58th Avenue North, unit number 8. Owner motivated. We just did a price improvement. You have a beautiful community pool, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1 carport, plus a bonus room. 815 square foot condo, new HVAC system and electrical panel, ground floor, 55 plus community. Great opportunity. Owner motivated. We just did a price improvement here. Stainless steel appliances, newer luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout. And you have covered parking right out your back door. You walk right out, covered parking spot there just for you. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This is God's country. All right, good stuff. So Jason is in studio with us. Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance. He's our expert contributor for all things insurance related. We want you reaching out to the show hotline for all your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, self-defense, home services. In so many ways we help you on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Just reach out to the show hotline. We'd love to talk to you about it. 727-263-3707. And here we go. Here's our top 5 countries participating in the United States. Yeah, drum roll, please. So according to the NAR chief economist, these are the top countries investing in the United States. So it says foreigners stepped back from U.S. housing market last year. Maybe a good thing since inventory was tight, and we would not to see foreigners outbid domestic buyers. Of course, that makes sense. All right, so top buyers were from, number 1, Canada. Canada has the most folks moving to the United States. China, number 2. Number 3 is Mexico. India, number 4. And number 5, Colombia. Folks from Colombia, South America, they're coming up to the United States. Now, top destinations. Where are they going? Number 1 is Florida. Number 1 in in-migration, not only in the United States, but also from other countries. Number 2, Texas. Number 3, California. 4 is Arizona. Number 5 is Georgia. So there's the top destinations. And as inventory grows this year and next, and which is he's predicting, is we're seeing that. Yeah, more inventory, days on market. Jason's nodding his head. More demand will need to soak up the inventory. So hopefully the Fed reduces rates. We start soaking up more of this inventory. So here it's interesting. It says Asians tend to focus on the West Coast and New York, New Jersey. Canadians like the warmth of Florida and Arizona. Florida also draws wealthy buyers from Latin America, Britain, and Germany, perhaps more related to jobs, but Texas gets more buyers from Mexico and India. So there you go. Feel-good story.
Yeah, I bet the Canadians do enjoy the warm weather of Florida.
Exactly.
I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, bring them on down. So we have just a minute left. Jason, take the final thought here and let us know how to contact you.
Yeah, I would just say if you haven't considered flood insurance before, I would really strongly consider taking a look. Give us a call. Let us take a look at a quote. It could be very reasonable. You might think you don't need it. You might think you're in a low-risk flood zone. All you got to do is ask the thousands of people that lived in the Fort Myers area that flooded out, and they were in a low-risk X-flood zone. So make sure that you talk to them. But, yeah, I'd love to talk with you. You can reach me at 813-385-4441. You can also reach me by email at jason@floridabestquote.com. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as Florida Insurance Tips. I'd love to help any way I can.
You're a TikToker?
I am a TikToker and an Instagrammer.
There you go. All right, good stuff. Jason, Florida Best Quote Insurance. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate
Always
it.
Glad to.
All right, they're going to take a quick break, come back here, and we're going to talk with Mike Twitty, Pinellas County Property Appraiser in the house. Also coming up, feel-good story of the day. You have a nurse credited for saving man's life with CPR and defibrillator after heart attack in Charlotte Airport. Feel-good story coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us here. Brandon BRimes Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own a top team of agents and great support staff, transaction managers, and awesome team. And we're helping you with your buying, selling, or investing. And we always feature our listings on air. It's part of our strategy that helps us sell our listings faster for more money. 10413 Main Street, the Nonasassa. We've got vacant land for sale. This is a zoning of PD, commercial property type, 3.63 acres of vacant land. 10413 Main Street, the Nonasassa. Great opportunity to buy and build, buy some dirt, build, and live that American dream, whether you're building a busy gas station. You're across the street from a gas station. You put in any type of commercial property if you get through the zoning there. Great opportunity to invest in Tampa Bay right here in the Nonasassa, Florida. All right, we got a property on Croft Street as well. This one is in St. Petersburg, Pinellas County on Croft, 13651 Croft Drive North, Largo. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1,066 square foot condo. Single family home. Minutes from the beautiful beaches of Indian Rocks Beach. You have naturally lit living room. I love the color scheme here. They did nice lighter colors. It's staged. It has some good curb appeal. Beautiful property here. Renovated home at 13651 Croft Drive North in Largo, Florida. Another one of our 100-plus listings. We've got over 100 listings now with the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, including our Gainesville 90 pre-construction luxury units that we're selling in Gainesville, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And a quick shout out to Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee's Royal Services. He's also a handyman, so he can clean your home or office, and he can knock off some of the items on your honey-do list. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let him know you heard about him right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. He's also a member of the Pinellas Realtor Organization, which recently merged with Greater Tampa Realtors. So now it's the Tampa Bay Realtors, I think is what they're calling it, Mike, or they have that name out there.
They have the West Pasco in there too now.
That's right, West Pasco. So we're covering a large area. I think it makes us either the 6th or 8th largest in the country now, is what I saw recently in the Florida Realtor magazine. Mm-hmm. So with that, welcome in, Mike Twitty. Welcome back, sir.
Glad to be here.
Pinellas County Property Appraiser, if you don't know or haven't heard of him, and running unopposed this time for the election. That must be a nice breath of relief.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So I want to thank my supporters and obviously the voters of Pinellas County. And we've done a lot of work over the last 8 years to really put a state of the art best in class website out there for them. I know you as a realtor, you guys use these every day, but also our citizens do, and everybody else related to the real estate industry, whether it's construction, legal, title, everybody's touching that site on almost a daily basis. So we wanted to put a world-class tool out there for them to use, and we'll continue. This is just this is version 1.0, so we'll keep making some positive tweaks to it. Yeah, and is
Pinellas County the most densely populated in Florida, but also the Southeast, I heard, too, county that is most densely populated?
I don't know outside of Florida, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. It would make sense that it would be in the whole Southeast, just because of our geographic boundaries. We're roughly 40 miles long and maybe about 20 miles wide at our widest, and we've got over 3,000 people per square mile packed into a place that is relatively small in landmass. It's the second smallest in landmass in the state.
Wow.
But yet we're double Broward's density.
Wow. Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Double Broward.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing. They're number 2 at I think 1,500 or 1,600 people per square mile.
Wow.
But they've got some more green space than we do. They've got pieces of the Everglades and things like that. So
that weighs into the calculation. So tell us too about the some of the legislation you had mentioned. Florida Realtors and Zillow, some type of a collaborative effort.
Yeah, we the last 2 legislative sessions, the Property Appraisers Association and the Florida Association of Property Appraisers, the 2 different respective groups representing property appraisers around the state, we've been championing legislation to add more transparency for buyers on the online listing platforms. We know that that's typically where our buyers of today are looking first. That's their first touch, is looking at online, whether it's Realtor.com or Trulia or Zillow or whatever those platforms may be. That's typically what they're hitting. And unfortunately, what they're seeing typically is the seller's taxes, which we know here in Florida, of all places, to look at seller's taxes is completely deceptive for a new buyer, because there's this thing called the Save Our Homes cap. That really, Florida is unique in the amount of protection that Save Our Homes cap provides a typical buyer. A typical owner. So you have a long-time seller of a property, the taxes that it's going to show that they've been paying on these online listing platforms is going to be considerably lower than what a new buyer may face on a cap reset.
Right.
So the legislation, in a nutshell, approached it in two fashions. So if it's a simple listing site where it's just showing the base information of that listing and it was previously showing seller's taxes, they would have to remove the seller's taxes and replace it with a link to their respective property appraiser's tax estimator. We're up to 65 out of 67 counties have some form of a tax estimator on their property appraiser site at this point. So there is a better way for them to get a really good estimate of what they're going to face after they go into their first full year of ownership when they cross their first January 1.
Right.
The other portion of the bill addressed if it was a more sophisticated platform showing a buyer payment calculator, where they're doing principal, interest, taxes, and insurance and showing that whole makeup of a buyer's payment. The property tax piece, again, was typically underestimated or was reflective of the seller's taxes.
Right.
So again, was not really a good representation. So in those cases, we've already worked out an agreement with the Department of Revenue to stand up all that data so that they can grab that data and use that within their tool rather than a misinformed number or a deceptive number.
Yeah, it's killed deals before. The unknowing mortgage broker, the realtor that may be a newbie, they don't understand that, they don't take that in calculation, and then they're working on their debt ratio and they go under contract and they figure out, oh wow, the taxes are actually going to be much more than that homeowner that's lived in that home for 30 years and carried that Save Our Homes cap, and the increase, I believe it's 3% or so per year, right? So that number is going to be much less than a brand new buyer coming in buying that property that's been on the tax rolls for 30 years at a homesteaded rate.
Correct. So we're just trying to add some more transparency there, because when I talk to the pro realtors around town, they love it, because they look at it as, they want to be professional, they want to be upfront with their buyers, they don't want to put their buyer in a home they can't afford, so it helps get the calibration right, get their price point right of what they're targeting, and they don't get this punch in the nose after they've been in the house for a year and now the seller's exemptions and cap reset, and now they get this ugly escrow letter and they end up in our lobby in tears because they're worried about losing their home.
Yeah. So. It's kind of interesting too is we were just featured in Florida Realtor magazine for this month, the August issue. And there was an article in that magazine about side hustles. It was something like 7 side hustles that realtors can have to improve their credibility and also add in and kick in a little bit of extra income. And in one of the articles, one of the side hustles that they suggested was that they could contract with homeowners for a fee to do what you had just mentioned and petition the county to reduce their taxes. Hey, maybe you're paying over what you should be paying here. Have you seen a lot of that, or what does that process look like?
Yeah, we've heard about it more in other counties. I mean, obviously, we always have a petition process every year. Anybody can come to the Value Adjustment Board and file a petition to do so if they don't agree with the value that we put on their property. And the reality is they can start coming in now. Our values are already out on the website, our preliminary numbers. Trim notices are going to come out the week of August 19th in Pinellas County. but you can already go and check your value and look to see if your exemptions have been applied appropriately. And you can have informal conversations with us without having to file a petition.
Yeah.
You can call in, talk to your area appraiser, find out exactly how they arrived at your value. You can talk to our exemptions team. It's really important for people to check right now and make sure that if they bought a house last year, that they didn't forget to file for homestead exemption this year.
Right.
Some think it automatically just magically appears on their house if they had it on a prior house. Well, it doesn't. They still have to apply. So, this is a great time for any of the realtors out there that have sold a home last year to follow up with their new buyers.
Yeah.
And make sure it's a great way to make contact with them once again.
Yeah.
But follow back up, say, hey, did you file for homestead? Because even if they miss the March 1 timely filing deadline, in Pinellas County, we can give them up to September 13th this year. That's the absolute line in the sand that they have to apply by. So even when they get their trim notice, if they notice, wait a minute, it doesn't look like I have homestead on my property, call us immediately, or go right online and apply and fill out the extenuating circumstances form. That way we know that you're applying for 24 instead of 25.
Got it. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Giving people an opportunity to correct that or any oversights. That's great. So we're talking with Mike Twitty here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's the Pinellas County Property Appraiser. And, very important part of our real estate businesses here in Tampa Bay is understanding the tax implications, understanding, what can be done, how you can take advantage of the Save Our Homes caps. Portability is an often misunderstood area of this conversation. The availability of a homeowner, a homestead property, to be able to port that from one county, any of our 67 counties in the state of Florida, to the other. So that's pretty cool. Another one that we talked about last week that was really interesting too, Jenny Restrepo from Insured Title Agency was talking about most counties now in the state of Florida, and if they don't have it yet, they're going to be required to have one, a free property fraud alert. So that's a big time thing to look into right now, because homes are being stolen. It's happening. A lot of times it's with an older, maybe an out-of-state owner. Different scenarios lend themselves a little bit more to being stolen. But what have you seen in that space, Mike? Have you seen some interesting case studies?
Yes, I've seen more of those in some of our neighboring counties. I talked to the Broward County Property Appraiser quite a bit. We're friends, and he's had so many problems down there that he created his own fraud unit within the property appraiser's office. Wow. I mean, he's hired badge and gun carrying retired officers to go out and enforce, and they've made many arrests. Some of them were fraud rings that went outside and went into counties all throughout Florida. In Pinellas, it hasn't been nearly as bad as what we've seen in other counties. But I will say, and it's something that every time I speak or we do PowerPoint presentations on, like an hour presentation, our last slide is always the clerk's service for their deed fraud alert.
Yeah.
And I always remind people, we give them the link, but if you go to My Pinellas Clerk, they have a free service. It takes about 10 seconds to sign up.
Yep.
So just go in, enter your name, and your email address or your phone number if you want to text or a call. You can decide how you want to be contacted. I just have mine with my email address. But what's great is anytime anything gets recorded in official records, it could be a deed, but it might also be a notice of commencement. It could be a notice of satisfaction, mortgage satisfaction, all those things.
Yep.
It will, if it's close to your name, you'll get a notification. It'll have a hyperlink with the OR booking page. You'll be able to check out the document right away to make sure that it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It may not be you if your name's John Doe, or John Smith or something like that. There might be a couple of you out there. But you can check and make sure it's valid.
Yeah, that's important, very important. And you can go at whatever county you live in, you can just do a search for that, your county property fraud alert, and it should come up, and you can put your property address your name in there as well as sign up. So we got to take a quick break. More with Mike Twitty here, Pinellas County Property Appraiser on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brimes1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Pull out your phone and go to YouTube, type in Consumer Quarterback Show, and subscribe to our channel. It really means a lot to us. It really helps the algorithms and all that good stuff. So we'll be right back here, coming up more with Mike Twitty on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, feel-good story of the day, nurse credited for saving man's life with CPR and defibrillator after heart attack in Charlotte Airport. Coming up, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing, featuring our listings live on air, maximizing the exposure for our sellers, and we're going to help you sell faster for more money. I've got a property on Rustling Wind here. This is vacant land. We've got some vacant land available. Out of our 100-plus listings, we got about a third of them that are vacant land. We also have commercial properties and, of course, residential. This one's 4.5 acres of land. You have no HOA or CDD. You're located just a stone throw away from a myriad of modern amenities, including dining options, shopping, entertainment, medical centers as well. Rustling Wind Road, Brooksville, Florida, 34604. Easy access to the Suncoast Parkway and other main roads. 5198 40th Street South. This one's in St. Petersburg as well. This one is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 3,000-plus square feet, over 3,000 square feet. Beautifully renovated interior, screened-in back patio, spacious living room, open floor plan, located in the heart of Maximo Moorings. You have stainless steel appliances, breakfast bar, and recessed lighting as well. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, and you're close to the Tiki Docks there at the Skyway Bar. Right here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, every day we like to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment.
Tell me something good.
All right, so here's the story about the nurse saving a man's life in the Charlotte airport. So at the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, 57-year-old Ken Jeffries had a heart attack while waiting for his flight. Registered nurse Claire Serbrine, also bound for Knoxville, recognized the signs and performed CPR with the help of bystanders. Using a defibrillator, they restored his pulse before he was rushed to Atrium Health Carolinas Medical Center for life-saving surgery. Dr. William Downey, a cardiologist, confirmed that Serbrine's action saved Jeffrey's life. Grateful for her timely intervention. Jeffries expressed deep appreciation, and Serby was rewarded with a first-class upgrade on her flight for her heroism. And there you have it. Feel-good story of the day. Alex, I know that might hit a little bit close home to you. You were a paramedic for many, many years in fire and saved some lives yourselves, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 15 years as a firefighter paramedic. And,
yeah.
I've done a lot of CPR.
Man. Yeah, some nerve-wracking situations, I'm sure.
It's a lot, man, but once you you do it, I hate to say, not that you just go on autopilot.
Right.
You have these protocols that you study and you go, but yeah, when it comes to CPR, compressions and electricity, they bring a lot of people back.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people back. I mean, you have the drugs as well that can get people, jumpstart the heart, like epinephrine and stuff like that.
Like Pulp Fiction?
But good, yeah, that's kind of BS there. That's good.
Crazy scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, but good compressions make a significant difference for sure. So kudos to her for jumping on and doing what she does.
Alex, I'm curious, what percentage of people can be resuscitated?
Oh man, there's a lot of variables there.
Right.
But it's all about time. They call it the golden hour. With all this stuff, when it comes to strokes and cardiac arrest, it's more about It depends on the scenarios. What happens is sometimes people have called 911 because they find somebody, but how long has that person been down?
Sure.
If you see somebody go down immediately, within a certain window, you jump on it, you can get it. But there's I'd have to get back to you with what the current number is. But it's you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people you can save just by doing good compressions, the right depth. Some people don't go deep enough, and then if you guys ever done a CPR class, I actually taught ACLS and CPR for a little while, advanced cardiac life support.
I think I did one long time ago.
And one of the things, quick for our listeners, you put your hands in the center of the chest and you start pumping. And no BS, man. Inside your head, start singing the ha 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 ha, staying alive, staying alive.
There you go.
That's the rhythm that you need to pump at. So ha ha ha.
Okay.
Ha. Just keep pumping, keep pumping, and you can do it, man.
Saving some lives. I like it. All right, so we are joined by Mike Twitty. He's the Pinellas County Property Appraiser. Running short on time here, but I wanted to get to the Amendment 5 on the ballots.
Sure.
Well.
Yeah, so there's only one property tax related ad valorem tax item on the ballot this year in November. That will be your Amendment 5, and it addresses the legislature, approved this year and allowed it to go through to the ballot. It will allow the second $25,000 of your homestead exemption. Right now, homestead is $50,000, but it's broken into two bands of 25. That second 25,000 bands that would apply to all millages except schools would, if voters vote yes, it would allow that 25,000 to increase at the consumer price index year over year.
Got it.
And it wouldn't be capped, so it wouldn't be like the CPI for homestead, where it's capped at 3%.
Right.
This would allow it to grow. So if it were 5% next year, for example, then it could move a full 5%. It could not go. It can not go negative. So it would just be positive.
So the
growth.
CPI index, meaning just the overall gross that cost of goods, cost of services are going up.
Right.
Is that essentially? So you're allowing for that. You're adding that into. So that's a good thing for voters. So they want to vote yes on that.
It is for most. If you're a longtime homesteader, you do get the benefit. There's a huge benefit from the Save Our Homes cap by the fact that your assessed value can't grow, increase more than that 3% a year. However, the actual homestead exemption piece, it would really start to help newer homesteaders because they don't have any Save Our Homes cap coming in unless they had port from somewhere else. But all your first-time home buyers, your people that might have been non-homesteaders for a long time and now they finally have gone and filed for homestead, to actually start to grow and let that homestead exemption, increase over time could be a benefit for them.
All right, Mike Twitty, find him online, Pinellas County Property Appraiser, and thanks for all those nuggets of insights and advice.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right, hey, another great show. We had Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance on the front end, as well as Mike Twitty. Shout out to all of our producers, production team, all of our listeners, audience. We greatly appreciate you supporting the show, supporting our show partners, and engaging with us. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes.